Page 51, in church. On page 50, they're covering what's known as overlapping pedal. It's got other names: lag pedaling, legato pedaling, smooth pedaling. It just ensures there's always sound constantly coming. And this is the pedaling I was talking about in the previous video, because this is the most common type of pedaling that we use. This is the most common type, the one you're going to use the most, I hope. It simply means that the hands do their thing, and immediately after that, the pedal does its thing. They don't do it at the same time. It's one then the other. In the preparatory drills, they break it down a little too much, in my opinion, because if you look at the first one, it's got a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on here, and they're telling you to push the pedal down on beat 2. Now that's not exactly true. It might be nice to, when you're first learning it. The point is, you play the note, and then immediately after you play the pedal. So go down to the bottom, the last line there on page 50. And you're going to play that C chord. I'm going to push the notes down first, and then immediately after push the pedal down. I'm not going to wait a full count. I'm not counting that. It's just immediately after. The idea is I want to start the sound first before I release all the dampers on all the strings. So it kind of grows a little bit. Then I'm going, you see the little arrow thingy in the middle of that pedal line? That means change the pedal. That means lift it up and back down. Not fast, you don't have to be quick about it, just up and down. And you do it after you play the notes. So the first notes in the second measure, I'm going to play those, and then I'm going to lift the pedal up and put it back down immediately after. So to play the first couple of measures there at the bottom, it's this way. See that? Then at the end, the pedal and the hands come up at the same time, and that's overlapping pedal. It simply ensures there's always sound, and the ear doesn't mind that little bit of overlap as long as you keep it short. If I try and pedal it right on it, and I'm a little off, and I will be sometimes, you could get a little bit of silence in there, and we don't want that. It's a much more forgiving style. Now, on page 51, we have this in church thing. Sounds like a hymnal, that's fine. It's overlapping pedal throughout almost. Key of D major, 2 sharps. There's not a lot to say about it. Follow their fingering, you're fine. So work out the notes and do this without pedal first. Always learn a piece without pedal, because it's easier to hear the notes without the pedal. 1, 2. They may not be really legato, but you can hear the notes, and that's what you're after. After you got the notes and the rhythms, then you can add the pedal. Now, look at the end of the second line on this in church. You see the line, the pedal line, it comes up. Then at the beginning of the third line, there's down. That's not overlapping. So, second line, last measure, you're going to lift the pedal up with the hands. And then you're going to push the pedal down right after you play the notes in the third line. It gives us a little bit of silence, and that's because it's a different phrase. They didn't mark in phrasing here, unfortunately. They should have, but between the phrases, we like to hear a little silence. Now, what I'm going to do is adjust this a little more, and I'm going to tell you that each line in this particular arrangement is a separate phrase. So I'm going to recommend that at the end of every line, on the first 3 lines, lift the pedal up with the hands, so we get a little silence between the lines. Just like they're showing at the second line, I want the same thing on the first 3 lines. And then at the bottom, if you look at that, the last 3 measures, again, the pedal isn't always, it's lifting up. That gives us a silence there. So to do the last 3 measures, you're here, pedal's down, I'm going to lift the pedal with the hands, and then push the pedal down right after I play the notes. And then it's legato pedal. And at the end, the pedal and the hands all come up at the same time. And that's the pedaling. Takes a little bit of practice to get it, but it's very, very common, and it's important that you do get it. Now, just a couple little things about this piece I want to point out. At the beginning, in the right hand, you have a D and an F sharp. That D is a whole note. You got to hold it down for the whole measure, even while you play those quarter notes. So it's here. There. So you can hear it. You want to be able to hear that D. Never mind the pedal. We're doing this without pedal right now. So I want to hear the D throughout it. Third measure over, it's a B. That's a whole note. The B's a whole note. You got to hear it. Hold it down the whole measure. Like so, and that's throughout this. You get these whole notes in the right hand. Hold them down. So, what I would like to do is go ahead and do a play with me on this to check the notes and the rhythms and all, and I'll try and show the pedaling. The melody's the top note in the right hand. Try and bring that out if you can. I'll give us 4 counts since it's in 4/4 time. So go ahead and put your hands in, I guess, D position starting. Foot's on the pedal. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. 3, 4.